Okay, hi everybody, this is Sasha. I'm a certified Pilates instructor. I've been teaching for 7 years now, and I love the foamies as a gentle, supportive way to do some movement and a little bit of ab work. Right, so this is the foamies block that we're going to start with, and we're just going to put it down lengthwise underneath our pelvis. Okay, so I'm just going to start by lying down, turn on my back, okay, and I'm going to lift up into a bridge and just bring the foamies underneath me. So I'm just really nicely supported by the foamies here. And I'm going to think about finding my neutral spine a little bit, just getting a little bit heavier into my tailbone area. And I'm going to take a nice big inhale, letting my ribs go wide, and then exhaling, letting them close, and letting my upper back sink down and flatten into the floor. So even this feels really nice just to open up and relax into the upper body. Just opening up the whole, that rounded, getting out of that rounded pose that we're usually in. Alright, so I'm just going to start with a little bit of gentle ab work by again taking a nice big inhale, feeling my ribs go wide, and then exhaling, bringing them nice and closed. And from here we're just going to bring one leg up to tabletop and then bring it back down. And then other leg up to tabletop and bringing it back down. But when I'm doing this, I'm keeping my ribs closed, and I'm just feeling a little bit of abdominal contraction in my low belly. Just a little bit of gentle work in my low abdominals. Okay. I'm going to actually bring my arms up and let my arm bones sink down to keep that nice openness in my upper body. And we'll do 4 more. So 4 and 3 and 2. And this time I'm going to leave one leg up, and I'm going to bring my other leg up. I'm just going to rock a little bit onto my tailbone. I'm going to go into a Pilates single leg stretch. Okay, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm going to hug my knees in. And I'm going to change that up by again just pulling one of my legs closer into me for a stretch and switching again for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and hugging in. And just try to keep my upper body nice and relaxed on the floor. And I'm going to point my toes up towards the ceiling and just do some nice ankle circles. Again, really trying to relax this upper body and just let myself sink down and be supported into the foamy. Other direction with the ankles. And then we're going to do a little bit of point open and flex close. So inhale, open, exhale, close. We're getting some inner thigh, some outer thigh, some abdominal work, and we're just feeling really nice and relaxed and supported on the foamy. So this is just such a nicer way of doing this exercise than having yourself flat on the floor, which can often hurt our low backs. So this is a really supported feeling, just gentle, with some good work in here into legs and abdominals, and then hugging in. Nice, we can do some leg circles. So legs down and then circling around. And again, you can make these as big or as small as you want. And again, such a nicer feeling having yourself supported on the foamy rather than having your back on the floor. And let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. We're just going to hug our knees in. Nice. And then just bring one foot to the floor and then other foot. And we're just going to lift up our hips for a stretch so we get kind of tight in here doing all that hip flexion. So we're just going to press into our feet and just reach our knees over our toes. And then we're going to slide the foamy out and lower back down. Okay, coming up after all of that work, we're going to do a nice little stretch on the foamy. And coming forward into a supported shell stretch here. Our arms out front and just our head to one side. And this feels awesome. It's so nice to be supported. And just let yourself sink into the foamy. And we'll turn our head in the other direction. Nice. And then come on up. We're going to try one supported quadruped position. And actually I really like this because so many people get really, it's hard for them to find their balance here, and sometimes we don't feel very supported when we're on all fours. It can be really a difficult position to maintain and to feel comfortable in. So the foamies give you a little bit of support, and there's lots of different blocks so you can build just the height that's right for you. So we're just going to come on, we're going to let this block support us around our belly button area. All right, and we're just going to feel nice and supported here. And we're just going to reach out one leg behind us and then the opposite arm. And we're just going to switch sides. Okay, so if you feel yourself wobbling on the foamy, you're going to know you're coming a little bit out of alignment. And at the same time, it just gives you some extra support. Okay. And some extra feedback in this exercise. Good. And especially if you've had children or any kind of abdominal surgery, this is like a really great supportive place to be. Doing some really important work for your back and your arms. Good, so we're going to keep our arms down and we're just going to extend one leg. We can go into a few leg lifts for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, really working the back of the leg and the bum. 2 and 1. Good, we're going to hold our leg up and do some circles for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Other direction for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And other side. Leg lifts up. So it's just interesting. I can feel a little bit of a wobble going on with the foamy, and that just gives me a little bit of feedback as to how my pelvis is moving and just how my body is working here. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1 and circling for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Last direction for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. So we're going to come out of that and just put the foamy place bits back. We're going to go into a nice side stretch to open our ribs. So we're going to lie down with the foamy just above our waist, or just rather at our waist. Good. And we're just going to lie here and try and breathe into our rib cage. Okay, so it's like we're trying to expand these ribs and make space in between all of these ribs. Good. You can bring your arm up and just lengthen. Good. See if you get a bit of a stretch here. Good. And nice. And even then just bring your arm down and really think of breathing into your ribs. And this will give you a really nice sense of openness in your rib cage. And then we'll just switch over to the other side. Okay. And down again, just at your waistline and letting yourself rest on the floor, stretching the other arm overhead. Or just having it at your side. Breathing into your ribs, making space in between. Good. And then bringing yourself up. Okay, and that's my short little foamy sequence. Bye.